Technology is a complex and volatile industry. That is why it's high time to step up and call bullshit on big tech firms that only spew information that benefits them. This is With Absolute Specificity, the program that's unafraid to shoot from the hip about all things tech and marketing. Get your dose of accurate information with a generous portion of humor right here. Get frank wisdom and plain-spoken facts straight from the source with host Jason A. Wood. You can count on him to bring the harsh yet practical truths to the surface. Get ready for another episode of With Absolute Specificity.
Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to With Absolute Specificity, a podcast all about doing shit on purpose. Listen, man, I got a great guest today. He's one of our clients here at Specificity, but he's also a very good, close personal friend of mine, Josh Cohol. Now, Josh owns Youngstown Tile, and Youngstown Tile does really two prongs of business. They do commercial build-outs, and they also do residential projects, and they are top-notch. In fact, I met Josh because I was in the process of wanting to remodel a home, and I thought it would be fun to scare the shit out of a guy that just took control of a new business, just put his nuts on the chopping block for the first time in his life, being wholly responsible for the well-being of his company, and said, hey, Josh, why don't you put, say, $40,000, $50,000 of your money on the table, and in return, I'll do some marketing for you, and it's all going to work out great. And man, he had the balls to do it, and the house turned out beautiful, and I think the business relationship turned out pretty good too, huh, Josh?
I totally agree. What a shocking endeavor it was from the beginning.
It was fun to watch you through that process, man. I mean, I know you've been in your space a long, long time and you're an expert at it, but it's always interesting when you find somebody that takes control or owns a new business, whether it's the first or not, it's a new business. And now as a business owner, you got to take capital risk, right? You have to. Big risk, big reward. And this was a good deal for both of us. But man, I felt bad for you because the nature of the beast required you to go first in terms of timing because we were in your dead season. It didn't make a lot of sense to do this huge marketing campaign in December and January. So, tell me about that. Tell our audience about how much that was the risk for you.
Well, let me tell you, I still have tremors. I got PTSD after that.
I love it.
Yeah. No, it was. It definitely was one of the first large financial risks I took since owning the business. It kind of opened my eyes. I'm a very trusting person, and I always want to help people moving forward. And to have somebody like yourself wanting to help me, investing in me on the backside. I've been in situations where I've been promised something good on the back end and end up getting burned because of who I am and what I do, and the fact that I believe in humanity. And sometimes that kicks me square in the balls, as you know.
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah, but all in all, it was an eye-opening experience. It was a learning experience, and again, like you said, I mean, a lot of it developed out of a relationship with you and I, not only personally, but in our marketing campaigns, and basically. Listen, I walk into places, I know tile, I know terrazzo, I know polished concrete, Cambria countertops, everything that we do in our business. I graduated with a marketing management degree. I love, marketing and what gets involved with that. But listen, I'm not in today's space. I pay you for that because you're the expert. You paid me to do what I did because I was the expert. And mutually, I think it came out beautiful. It really did. We've seen growth in our business on the back end. And continually to grows. And that's why, we, outside of our friendship, that's why we still do business. You're still driving, people to us, here in little Youngstown, little Campfield, Ohio.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate that. It's funny to me. And I was talking to a mutual friend of ours the other day, and I was mentioning how, in that effort to do that deal we did, that was great. It worked out well for both of us, obviously, but in the net of it, there developed a friendship between you and I, and even in the business capacity, we couldn't get the hell away from each other. So I engaged Jim Landino there in Sharon to do an office build out for us. And who the hell is the one doing the office build out? Josh Cohol. So
we do a lot of work with Jim Landino. Jim and Jen have been doing a lot of work over there in Sharon, and we continually do stuff for them now. We were just working over on Jen's master bath and some of the buildings that they're renovating.
Yeah, the Taj Mahal over there downtown Sharon. Boy, that place is wow.
It is.
I haven't seen him for a few years. I can only imagine the additions that he's made. in terms of the aesthetics there.
Yep. No, he's doing a phenomenal job over there. It's definitely a visionary. That guy is looking way down the road.
So you're in the Youngstown market. Obviously, we started this company up in that market, and that's how you and I met. And so I'm quite familiar with that market. But I'll tell you, man, that is one hell of a challenging market for companies like yours, companies like mine. That in your case, you kind of cater to the more refined taste, people that have the desire to really do a project and not just go to Home Depot and buy 50 cents a square foot or 99 cents a square foot tile, right, and get to replace them for the rest of the time they own their house every year. So what's that like in that market, man? It's a tough economy. It's brutal. You're doing the commercial side. I know it's a big part of your business. Tell our listeners about that. Tell our viewers about that.
Well, on the commercial side of the business, it's all public bid work that we do. We're union contractors. We cover all of the state of Ohio, about 3/4 of Pennsylvania. We go up into New York a little bit, along Lake Erie, and down into the state capital, West Virginia. I've done terrazzo on the porticos there. It's the farthest south I've gone. We, in the heyday, we've done work from Boston, Massachusetts to Dubuque, Iowa, with the last mall that we did for Cafaro out in Dubuque.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, our commercial business, a lot of it's public bid. Everything goes out there. You bid millions of dollars a year, throw it out and hope that your relationships and your past history with these people bring you work over the year. As far as the residential market goes, it's difficult in here. One of the things we pride ourselves on at Youngstown Tile is the customer service aspect, and I wouldn't do something or sell you something in your house that I wouldn't do in my own house. And, sure, I think that means a lot to people. We try to make sure that when you leave here and you purchase something that you're happy because you're going to look at it for a long period of time. It's not like you're going to slap it up and in 2 years go, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't like that tile. I think I'm going to go ahead and change that,
Yeah. It's not quite like getting a tattoo, but it's pretty close. You're married to it for quite a bit of time. I mean, you can always pull tile, I guess, the same way you get a tattoo removed, but wow. Yeah. It's funny to me. And I normally start with this when I'm interviewing our friends and our clients from our home market of Youngstown, but I got to ask, what's the weather doing today?
I don't know. It's pretty shitty out there, like it always is. Man, give it 10 minutes, it'll change.
Yeah, that's right. I tell everybody that I made a lot of good friends in Northeast Ohio and Western PA, and the people are salt of the earth in that part of the world. But goddamn, I don't miss that weather. Jesus Christ! I mean, if it's not raining or snowing, it's at least cloudy. Like to go from that to Florida for the sunshine is like night and day, literally.
It's attacking a lot of people's sinuses right now, and allergies. We're going from 30 to 65 back down to 30, in a 48-hour period.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's chilly and a light misty rain right now. It's nasty, but listen, there's sun on the other side. It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah, you guys will get at least 20, 25 sunshine days during the spring, summer, and fall. So, so I never understood why I got into sports cars in Northeast Ohio, because there was like 3 weeks you could drive them. Josh, you're a smart guy, and when you host a podcast, man, you always want to cater to your guest strengths, and sometimes you can talk more complex issues with certain guests. You and I have certainly had many, many espressos and cigars and talked about some very high level stuff. What are you seeing in the economy, both nationally, regionally, and the impact it's having on Youngstown? Where do you see all this going, man? Inflation is getting out of hand again. The feds are going to raise interest rates again. I mean, all of this. What are you seeing the net impact on not just your business, but your home market?
It's still strong. And I say that optimistically and very cautiously. We're still seeing a lot of traffic coming through the store. A lot of people coming in. They have a big housing development being built across the street from us. There's a couple others that are going that some local contractors are developing as well. I don't know. I think people are very, very optimistic. I mean, we're from a grit economy in Youngstown. We fight tooth and nail for everything we've got. Nothing comes easy to the people around here. So it takes a lot to kind of knock them down. I mean, seriously, the histories, the stories of Youngstown, and you've seen, what the trials and tribulations of the blue collar workers here have gone through. But like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we're going to be okay. We're going to muscle through a little bit of rough times. The housing market's still going. We just had a large home lasted about 24 hours on the market and for a decent chunk of change. So people are still buying, and I hope that trend continues.
Yeah, the one advantage Youngstown has, and this is going to sound like a backhanded compliment, but it really is an advantage, and it's one I experienced because I was a homeowner in that market, is that while Youngstown never experienced the overinflated values of homes and the ability to buy a home for $500,000 and sell it for $1 million 24 months later, like you can do in markets like Florida, New York, California, and the like. The consistency of home value in Youngstown is such that even when the real estate market dipped as it did in 2008, I happen to own a house in Cortland, and it was worth exactly what I paid for it when it dipped as it was at its high within $10,000. So you guys don't experience those dramatic swings. And I think that plays a part, while at least for your type of business, the market's still strong because people aren't getting hurt on the downside like they are in the markets.
Right. You got somebody throwing $20,000, $30,000 in a renovation. They know in the back of their mind that, listen, when it's time, I'm going to get my $20,000, $30,000 back out of it. I may not make 60,000. I might make 10,000, or I'm at least going to walk out, at a goose egg there. I'm not losing money. Right. I improved my space. I enjoyed it for the 10, 15 years, whatever, and it's time to move on. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, we're seeing houses in this market that even because we're starting to see a little bit of a dip here, and I'm in Lakewood Ranch. We're seeing houses that were listed at 1.5 last November. And they got a little trick down here. They don't just reduce the price; they delist the home and then relist it at a lower price, so they don't have to show a drop. Right? Yeah. So that's all a data thing that the Florida realtors do to protect home values down here, so they don't show a downward trend. But, I'm in the market for a house, and you're looking at houses that were going for, and I'm just going to use round numbers, $1.5 million that are now at $1.2 million just in the last 120 days. And so in those instances, if you got in at 120 and wanted to sell at $1.5 million, you're screwed. And Youngstown doesn't experience that. So let's
not at all.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was going to say, not at all. I mean, the cost of living here in Youngstown is we live in a bubble. Honestly,
yeah, you do.
We're not seeing those dips. We're not seeing those explosions. In certain neighborhoods, certain markets, you might pick up a couple $100,000 on a sale when those little bubbles hit. But other than that, we don't really experience those.
Yeah, which that adds some consistency in the marketplace, and I think it makes it easier for people to say, yeah, I'll invest in updating my home. I know COVID had an impact on Youngstown Tile. And I mean, from the data I looked at nationwide, that market was fairly strong if you subtract out the supply chain issue, obviously, because people were stuck in their houses and they got tired of looking at the same shit every day. So I think coming out of COVID was like a boondoggle for you guys, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hate to say it, but it was great. I mean, we benefited from the coming out of COVID. And the store continues to experience growth. I mean, I'm seeing, 15, 20% growth month, awesome. Year to date. So it's still continuing to move upward. We're still young as a retail store. We've had a store since 2016. It's always been a commercial business, and that's where our main focus is. But, the fact that we have the ability to have the retail store with the experience that we have here in installation and products, and the fact that we treat people nice, we treat them like their family and how most people should be treated.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man, I mean, I obviously didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. And I came into your showroom and man, you just laid it all out. Like, I like this. I like this. I think you'll like this. You like this. And that level of cause you had been in the house, you took the time to come out and check out the space, and it was gutted. And you kind of put together a vision. And for a lot of guys, especially a single guy, but even couples, a lot of times they know they want to change and they have a sense of what they want. But to actually really get detailed and say, okay, I want, this pop or this aesthetic appeal, man, you and your staff are dope in that regards, man. I mean, I
appreciate that.
Oh man, the way you guys pull answers out of me that I didn't even know. Well, Jay, do you like earth tones? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, earth tone? And you're like, well, hey, dumbass, this is an earth tone. And so the way you walk people through a process of really arriving at something they're going to fall in love with is, frankly, you don't see that anywhere else. And before I met you, I had been chopping your competitors, frankly. I'll just be frank. And they're more of a commodity. Hey, that's $2 a square foot. You want that? Here's 3 things that match it. And it's that kind of experience. It's not that concierge. service that an idiot like me certainly needs,
Listen,
so
when you come in, we're talking about your cabinets, your paint color, what things look like. We want to see pictures. We want to see what you're trying to develop, and people come in that, we got these great smartphones now. They can look up things from Pinterest or Howls or whatever the case may be and say, can you find me something like this and make it work in my space, and that's exactly what we do.
You mentioned earlier, and it's one of the things I love about you, or at least love to teach you about, is that you have a marketing degree. What year did you get that degree?
A couple years ago. 2000.
But once a marketer, always a marketer, right? So even though you got into a different core competency in business, when you get bit by that marketing bug and you're fascinated with how all that works, consumer psychology and communication channels, you never stop at least keeping track of them, man. What are you seeing in your business? What are you seeing in other businesses in terms of, like, let's just start with communication channels, whether it be social and display and digital and all that mixed search versus traditional like TV, radio, print. I mean, as you know, I'm not a silver bullet guy. I think it takes a good mix of marketing to maximize your ROI on all your marketing spend. What are you seeing right now as effective?
The most effective is clearly digital. To go out, harness your customers' information to locate your competition, geofencing them, dropping ads on those people's devices. You can't beat that. Number one, hands down. It's fun to do TV because hey, look, hey, I think I saw you on TV. Yeah, that's great. Come in and buy something.
That's right. Get your checkbook out.
Yeah, I started running some TV ads, and then all of a sudden you see my competition running TV ads, so it's fun watching them spend their money. While on the front I'm going, hey, Youngstown Tile, go bold, go local, go Youngstown Tile. And on the backside, I'm making sure if my customers are going to their store, I'm grabbing their device ID from you, we're dropping ads on them.
Oh yeah, we love that, don't we?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, go. Continue to bring my customers into your store so I can get them more advertising. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh, one of the things that I find interesting is the situational dynamics in local markets. Like, if your business were situated right here in Lakewood Ranch, I would, from the top of my perch, advocate and scream to you, stop wasting money on TV and direct mail. But Youngstown has a different mix. First of all, demographically, you've got a blue collar mix. Very solid, salt of the earth people that make good money, but they're not making $800,000 a year. So that's a different education level, different type of background, demographically and psychographically speaking. In your market, you actually get some result out of some of these other communication channels due to that mix. So share that with us. Like, what's that look like for you guys?
It's hard to track that. Obviously we try to ask our customers, but when you see them in the store and they stop and they look at you and they're like, hey, you're the guy that's on TV, or I seen you on the news this morning when I was drinking coffee, so you do get some feedback in that manner. So I can't say that I use any type of tracking information from that standpoint. I mean, I've tried billboards in the beginning, which is a waste of money, and it's just funny because I put the billboards up to circle my competition, like geofencing them. So they had to wake up in the morning, see me coming to work, and they had to see me when they left. Did
you put your face on them? Did you put your face on them?
I did not.
You should put your mug up there, man. Hi.
So, but you got that. The logos on the vehicles are always good in this area, because people still say when they come into the store, we didn't know you had a store here. We're kind of off the beaten path on the west side of the 224. So to drive traffic out here, even though things are moving this direction and things are building up out by our shop, there's still people that I can't capture, and have a difficult time in doing so. And I hear that, they're still going to my competition and they don't know why they go there. You ask them and I'm like, you guys get treated like shit. Why go there? Why put yourself through that? And they're like, I really don't know. I asked myself the same question, and I said, well, hey, you're here now. So just don't go back.
I'm gonna embarrass you a little bit here, Josh, because I know you're a real humble guy. But one of the aspects to owning a business is being an active and positive player on behalf of your community and the kids and the education system in that community. And look, man, I've marketed for thousands of different businesses in my career. I have yet to come across somebody that is more involved, that spends more of their own personal time, as busy as you are, dedicating yourselves to improving the circumstances in the education realm, the athletic realm. Tell everybody, Josh, and I know you don't like to do this, but tell them what you do, man. To explain to them the support that you're doing with Campfield, what you guys have going on there, the golf stuff, just all of the stuff you do.
We have all kinds of things. I am involved with the Campfield Big Boosters. I am the president of the Campfield Football Alumni Club. I'm the president of the Golf Boosters. I'm involved with Campfield Strong, which is a group of us that are trying to renovate certain buildings on the school campus through goodwill and donations from the community and outside people like yourself who have kicked in to contribute. We're looking to renovate some of our buildings on the high school campus. Our current project I have on the table right now is we're trying to build a girls' locker room. The girls' sports do not have an adequate facility. They are currently under the football stands at the high school, which was a locker room that was disgusting when I was a freshman in high school. And I can only imagine it hasn't gotten any better. So we're trying to build a locker room right now to encompass girls' golf, softball, soccer, whatever outside sports, girls track, so they have a place to go. They have a place to change and get ready. We're looking at putting a couple simulators in the back of that so that the high school team has a place to practice. A few years back now, I think it's 2 years back, we built a golf simulator room. I spearheaded a project over there, which you greatly generosity kicked in and helped us. There. We put in 2 simulators. Up until that point, Campfield Golf didn't have any place to go practice in the off season. So we're literally in the back storage closet of the Campfield Middle School, where they're actually looking to tear down and build a new middle school because it's been around over 100 years and desperately needs upgraded. I'm also part of the school facility planning commission for Campfield, as they're looking to go through and renovate a little bit of work at the high school, build a new middle school, maybe an elementary campus. And I'm sure there's something I'm missing. I mean, I donate to all sports and athletics, over there. I like to see the kids be promoted. We have a great set of students over there, and they're going places. They're going to be part of this community, and I like to see them get the recognition they deserve. Not only the athletics, but those in scholastics. Whether it's the STEM program over in the elementary schools, all the way to speech and debate and drama club. All these kids, we have all these tools. They might as well be utilized and kind of get out there and help them at the same time.
I wouldn't be much of a friend, Josh, if I didn't give you this platform. So just out of curiosity, do you have any kids of your own playing any sports, having any success?
Yes, actually. My 2 daughters are doing very well. My oldest is a sophomore in high school, and she is actively trying to get a golf scholarship right now. We're going to be heading down your way. She's got a week at IMG Golf Camp. And then we have a AJGA tournament coming up here in April as well. We are also, my middle daughter is a competitive dancer who has hit the ground running, and she is actively involved. It's like every other week we're, at a dance competition or traveling. She's going to be at Break the Floor in Los Angeles. She was in Buffalo. She's coming back down to Orlando for another convention. I mean, it's nonstop. And my son, he's 10 years old. He has hopes and dreams of being an NFL player like your boy, Patrick Mahomes.
That's right. That's right. I love, because I'm a guy, 10-year-old boys are a trip, man. We talked about this the other day. The funniest thing they can do is hit you in the nuts and run, right? Like, that's funny at that age. Yeah, talk to me when you're 16 there, kiddo. We'll see how funny you think that is. but boys are just a blast in that way. But girls, man, I mean, for me, the Title IX and everything that happened decades ago, and you're starting to see some of that come to fruition. What a beautiful thing that I mean, and your girls are both beautiful. I don't envy you. You're going to have to kill some teenage boys in your parenting career, I'm sure. But to be so advanced and so skilled in golf and dance and the athletics they're involved in, and you guys just take it to another level, brother. It's impressive to watch, man. I'm running a company myself, and just watching your Facebook post wears my ass out. So, you're a hell of a good family man and a hell of a good member of your community, Josh, and you run a hell of a business. And, at the end of the day, good players are more than just people that make money in business. You know what I mean? Speaking of that, you are raising money right now for that locker room project. And if you don't mind, send over some information. We're geeks, so send, website links. Don't send me a dossier. Send me over website links. And in the description of this podcast, because this will be viewed and listened to by people in your market as well. Nice. Provide some information how they can get involved if they want to donate time, materials, money, any of the things that are going to be needed to make that happen. I think it's a very worthy cause. I think it's only fair that girls have, a nice place to not nice, but a usable space that they can get ready for their events as well.
They do need a nice place. Something is way better than what they got. There's the normal expansion contraction in the roof, and it leaks inside that locker room. Like, it's just bad. We need something better. They deserve something better. And my goal is to get this thing built and done for this season. So let's go. I need some money.
Well, give us that information, and in the podcast description, we'll illuminate that and see if we can't drive some traffic. We're going to promote this podcast through socials. We'll mention it there for you as well, man. We love to help out anytime we can with you guys. I just love what you're up to. So, Josh, listen, man, thanks a lot for coming on today, brother. I really appreciate your time. Yeah, my pleasure. I know you're busy as hell. And we wish you nothing but future success, man. We're going to continue to kick ass and take names for you, and watch you just kill it there in the Youngstown market, brother. So thanks for coming on.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the time. Thanks for all you guys do.
Yeah, my pleasure. And listen, thanks everybody for watching and listening. We're going to be dropping new podcasts every week moving forward for Infinity. Frankly, we've got a lot of great guests lined up in the future. You can check us out on all the major platforms. You can subscribe. You can check us out at Specificity.inc.com. I'm going to post Josh's Youngstown Tile information for you guys to go check out Youngstown Tile as well. And until the next time, guys, have a kick-ass week. We look forward to talking to you the next time. Josh, thanks again, brother.
Thank you. Take care, man.
All right. See you guys.
You've just listened to another episode of With Absolute Specificity. Stay updated on big tech with insights from industry thought leaders. What are you waiting for? Catch more episodes by visiting the website at www.specificityinc.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future releases.